If there's one thing I've learned living on a ranch inside a semi-rural HOA community, it's this. City folks love the idea of country living until it actually shows up outside their manicured hedges. Our property sits on the edge of a large master plan development in Texas, where ranch lots back up to more traditional suburban homes. We've got 10 acres, a few barns, horses, and plenty of open pasture. The original deed allowed livestock and seasonal community events, which is why, for the past 5 years, I've hosted the Spring Heritage Horse Parade on our private roads and trails. It's not a big commercial affair, just local riders. 4-H kids, veterans, ranchers, riding proud, showing off horses, mules, wagons, and sometimes even a few longhorns for flavor. We loop the trails, wave at the neighbors, and end with a small barbecue for the community. And every year, people love it. Well, almost everyone. Enter Cynthia, our newly elected HOA president. She moved in about 8 months ago from somewhere up north. Immediately started trying to clean up the neighborhood. First, it was complaints about roosters. Then it was dust from the arena. Then she banned ranch flags on fences. And then she got wind of the parade. I sent out flyers a month ahead, just like always. Cynthia emailed me the next day. This event is not approved by the HOA and must be canceled immediately. I replied with a copy of the original community agreement signed and recorded that specifically allowed for equestrian events on ranch-designated lots, including processions on the private trail system. Her response? A cease and desist letter citing noise violations, unauthorized gatherings, and potential liability to the HOA. She copied the sheriff's office and the county permits division. That's when I knew she was gearing up for a showdown. What she didn't know was that this year's parade had a very special guest. You see, I served with the current governor of Texas back when we were both in the National Guard. We stayed in touch over the years, and when I told him about the trouble we were having with local bureaucracy, he chuckled and said, "Sounds like you need a grand marshal." So yeah, the governor agreed to ride lead. Parade day rolled around. We saddled up 23 riders, 3 wagons, and a pair of mini horses pulling kids in a cart. The governor arrived quietly in his pickup, wearing jeans, boots, and a Stetson. No press, no handlers, just a man coming to ride. At noon sharp, we kicked off down the trail. Cynthia was waiting, arms crossed, standing dead center in the main gravel road, holding up a copy of HOA bylaws like it was a holy scroll. I waved from horseback. She stepped forward, yelling, "This parade is illegal. Turn around or I'm calling the sheriff." The governor reined in next to me, looked down at her, tipped his hat, and said, "Ma'am, I am the state." Her mouth dropped open. She stammered something about permits. But the governor gently smiled and added, "The law's already been checked. These riders have more right to be here than that garden gnome you find someone over last week." We rode on. Cynthia stood frozen. The parade was beautiful. Wagons rolled. Hoofs clopped. Flags waved. Neighbors came out cheering with folding chairs and lemonade. Half the HOA board was there waving happily. Later that afternoon, the sheriff himself stopped by, not to cite us, but to take a plate of brisket and shake the governor's hand. He even posed for pictures with the kids. By Monday, Cynthia had submitted her resignation as HOA president, citing irreconcilable cultural differences. Now, the Heritage Horse Parade is an official annual event, endorsed by the county, and I've got a thank you letter from the governor framed in my barn. And every time I see a new no-dust sign go up in the neighborhood, I just smile. Because some people move to Texas for the land, the peace, and the freedom, but forget, the land was here first.